Here's Ryan. We're live.
Well, that was fun.
It was something.
Yeah. Kansas shoots 140% for the game. And I don't know, they scored like 300 points or something. They shot 70% in the second half, 69. Watch it, Brad. 69% for the game. Thoughts, guys? Galen will be here in a minute. But we'll go ahead and just talk it up.
Well, the way I see it,
I think you could definitely tell that there was a shock being in Allen Fieldhouse for the on the Cougar side, and Kansas and their fans are definitely up for this game as they should be, and as they normally are. And I don't think I wouldn't say this is a surprising game. I think you'd hope this game. You hope you'd make it a game if you're the Cougars to come in here your first time. With as the top of the conference, but the fog is real. They felt the fog, and they didn't play well today. The score is probably a little deceiving with the way LJ Cryer was really dragging them to be within 15, 13, 12 in that second half. You shoot 36% in Allen Fieldhouse, and you allow a team to shoot 69%. You're not gonna win. It doesn't matter who it is, and in this arena, there's no chance. No chance.
Brad, what do you got? Well, first off, let's say this real quick. Kelvin started off his press conference by saying a blindfolded person could play better defense than his team today.
True.
Yeah. Can't really disagree with that.
Well, the way I see it, everybody takes a beating sometimes.
Boy.
And today was our day. The positive of it is you let them shoot 69% from the floor, and you only lose by 13. Now, they pulled off the gas and slowed it down quite a bit. But it could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been historic. They should have lost by 40.
Yeah.
It happens. The one thing we got to get over, and I guess we're not going to any more historic venues the rest of the season is, quit letting environments be bigger than what the game is. Define the moment or it will define you.
Accurate.
And you got a really bad definition today.
So if I told you that U of H had 3 turnovers in the game and Kansas had 18, you would be talking about how big the ass whooping was, right? U of H just destroyed them.
Well, I mean,
that ain't hard. U of H has 24 more shots.
The shots
they only turned it over 3 times.
Count the shots as turnovers because some of them, a lot of them were terrible.
Yeah,
I mean they weren't bad shots to take. They were bad shots. They were just terribly executed. Right? What did we shoot inside of 6 feet? That's what I want to know.
0.
I mean, I can remember at least 8 or 9 misses from way inside.
Yeah. So the way they define layups, U of H shot 3 of 7, which is laughable. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Kansas
was 10 of 11, 4-4 on dunks. They were all open. They were all open.
Yeah. Every time U of H just put the tiniest little bit together, just the tiniest little bit, Kansas remembered that they were who they were and just slapped them back. It's been a long time since you've seen something like that. Kelvin Sampson, when asked how hard it is to win at Allen Fieldhouse, said, "You're asking an expert. I'm an expert at that one." The way they shot the ball, you'd think we lost by 30, Sampson said. I don't know what's happening with all that. It was a weird day. Let's look at some comments and we'll talk about the environment. Accurate. They were tired of hearing about the new kids. I don't know if this is true. When one guy tells his players shoot 70%, and the other guy says shoot 33%.
He obviously forgot to tell his team, "Hey, you got to shoot 70% today."
Yeah, that was a rookie mistake.
One day he'll learn. You got to ask him that. They'll respond.
Yeah, I just don't know. That's a rite of passage. Well, you got that hazing out of the way. I just don't. I don't understand. I'm sure lots of people who bet on Kansas just feel like they stole a whole bunch of money.
Oh, that was a sucker bet from whoever. Anybody that bet U of H on that is insane.
In a pick'em, yeah, for sure. If it would have been 3, 4, 5, Kansas, maybe, but yeah. Losing Javier Francis hurt for sure. Francis is a lower back issue, and that's why he didn't really play. I don't think he played again. I could be wrong, but I think he played just the 4 minutes. But the fact is you just finished the first half of the season, of the conference season, 6-3, and there have been times where you thought that wasn't very good, but it turns out it's really pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna give it a P right here. The fact that this crowd chanted that was hilarious.
Yeah,
what the hell are you doing? Like, that makes no sense. You shouldn't be doing that.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, they probably accurate.
You get them camping out all weekend. They show up for the game 2 hours early. Impressive.
No, they're in the seats 2 hours early. They were here Tuesday.
Yeah. But I mean, if we're overrated, then y'all didn't beat a very good team, and so it's nothing to celebrate, right? Nothing to be excited about. Then why are you excited? It's okay.
Starnes, what you got? What's happening over there? How's your day, Starnes?
It was good. Had a good breakfast.
Okay. Me too.
Yeah. No, I think gotta look at the forest for the trees a little bit. You don't beat Kansas, especially this year, in your first time ever. Aside from I guess your head coach and one of your players, or I guess two with Malik
Two of
Wilson.
your players, 3 players.
Yeah, you don't
Or
beat
not
those
players,
guys.
sorry, coaches. Sorry.
Yeah. Um, you don't just beat them. You don't just go walk in and beat them your first time there. And they learn that in their first 2 road games. You don't walk into Hilton and just win. It's not Memphis. It's not UCF. It's not anything like that. These are these teams don't lose in their home stadium, and you really, really, really have to play well to even get a shot. And they didn't play well at all today. And I mean, Ryan, we talked about it. They got those 2 road games at BYU and Texas. This game was, sort of see what you can get. You'd love to make it a game. You'd love to really make it a challenge. But this is your first time for everything this season, and now it's not a surprise anymore.
Nope.
And now you got to go into these places from here on out and figure it out.
Yeah. There's really not a lot more to say than that. This felt a lot like Iowa State in those first 6 minutes or so when it was, I think, 14-0. Except this never ended. U of H outplayed Iowa State over the last 34 minutes. They did not outplay Kansas. At any I think they made the first shot, and then, now they're saying it's a hip injury for Xavier Francis, not necessarily a back, but wherever that is, he was in a lot of pain, and that's why he never came back out. And JoJo was nursing something, but he did come back in, so that's something. Kansas did to you exactly what you've done to everybody else in the league at home.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, they just punched you in the face, and it never stopped. You thought there were stretches U of H was looking pretty good offensively, and I was like, oh, they got to be back. Oh, it's 14. Oh, okay. Not quite. And they got, I believe, within 10, and Kansas stretched it back out to 14. Yeah.
Right around the 4-minute mark, I think. Got it down to 10. I was like, okay, you get it to 10 here, you got a shot. And the next thing you know, we're down by 14 again. I'm like, oh, well, good job, good effort.
Kansas shot a lot of turnaround little 5-foot jumpers, 4-foot jumpers. And I guess it's from seeing U of H so much that you think those are going to go in about 40% of the time. Well, it turns out when a really good shooting team does that, they go in a lot more. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it felt like they just abused you from inside of 10 feet. And the numbers back that up. That McCullough kid that was injured. Right. Well, the McCullough kid that was injured was 7 of 8 from the floor. Furphy, which I'm having trouble saying that name still, was 6 of 7. Adams was 4 or 5. When 3 of your starters just don't miss, and Harris was 3 of 4. So each of them had 1 miss in the game. They missed 14 shots, and Hunter Dickinson had 6 of those. I mean, I just don't understand. It was just an ass kicking, just complete ass whooping.
Yeah, and those traps on Hunter Dickinson, he's too skilled and too tall. He was just able to pass out of those every time. Yeah. And get it to Furphy or swing it to somebody else, and they were going to get an open 3. And the closeouts, I thought they had good closeouts, but their shooters. This is a good shooting team at home. They're gonna make those shots.
Yeah. Furphy had a good game for sure. Just like a defense that you can't prepare for, you can't prepare for that kind of atmosphere. You also can't prepare for them not missing. And I mean, they didn't have to take that many shots tonight. They took 45. It's just okay. So this place was awesome. It lived up to the hype. It lived up to the travel. You see behind me, it's just benches. And basically the entire arena is that there's a level of chairback seats, but there's not many of them. And even where the media sat way up in the corner, which is actually a great view, we were on benches. So my back is killing me. I finally got me a chair with a real back. So I'm not leaving. Jeremy Branham gets to leave. Good for him. But yeah, this was an ass kicking all the way. And there's really not anything nice you can say about it.
No. I mean, I guess looking at the positive, there's nothing you can really dwell on. I mean, literally you do get your ass kicked sometimes. That just happens. If you're going to play high stakes games, you're going to take big ass losses every now and then. For
sure. And what can you do?
I mean, it's not where you can go back and say, if we just did this one thing better. No, you didn't do anything. No, there was nothing good. Nothing good came out of this.
No.
And it gives them a lot more.
Kelvin's going to have positives in film, but no one in the world is going to want to deal with that.
After a game like this, you're not going to go into the film room and just light everybody on fire. You
might not, but he might. You never know.
I think it'll probably be more of a condescending. What the hell were y'all doing? This is not who you are.
Maybe. So our friends.
Uh-oh.
And the team is back there, and they've got their pizza. And
where's yours?
No pizza. Don't have any pizza. Haven't even seen like a good-looking pizza place.
Should I DoorDash you a Totino's?
No, I got Sparrow.
Ooh.
So I can go to the gas station. No.
Ooh.
No. You're an idiot.
That is delicious mall pizza.
No, you're an idiot is what you are. That is terrible. Nobody
There's
eats
such thing
that.
as bad pizza,
it's disgusting. Yeah, there is.
Except
pineapple. There is. No, there's bad pizza.
Well,
and
I will
you're
never
an idiot
trust
for saying there's not.
When you talk about pizza, you're automatically ruled out because you're freaking nothing but onion bullshit.
Now that's a great pizza. A Mr. Gatti's onion only pizza is one of the best pizzas you can get. And here's the reason why. No one will eat your pizza.
That is true.
You get the whole pizza to yourself.
You're the only one who will eat the pizza that smells like my feet.
And you're eating Sparrow. It's gas station Sparrow.
Ooh.
No.
That is fantastic. What gas station is that?
It's one in Lawrence. It's one here. I don't know who thought of that and who thought leaving big pizzas out in the open in a gas station was a good idea. Not all pizza is great pizza. Cauliflower pizza. That cauliflower crust is weird. I can't believe we're already not talking about basketball. And
I have a question.
I guess that's how bad this was.
What's the question?
Yeah.
What was the most concerning thing about this game to you guys?
Nothing.
Nothing?
The injury to Javier. That's about it. I mean, like I said, this is like a going into a heavyweight fight and you get knocked out in the third round and you're just out on your feet and you just get the hell beat out of you. There's nothing you can do. So you clean up, go heal up, and then get back at it.
I disagree.
We got a rematch.
Yeah, but that's a long way off. 5 weeks. They got to the ball, to loose balls to the floor faster than you. They wanted it more. It's just weird seeing that out of a U of H team.
Right.
And They flat out hustled this team. U of H felt like they were intimidated, and then they were kind of they weren't aggressive, timid. I think would be a word I'd use.
Mhm.
So, maybe they
I
get
mean-
an earful in the locker room, and then they don't even bring it back up, and you just move on. Or maybe there's an all-day film session tomorrow, and I don't know. But typically he'll probably just release this and say, "What can you do?" But tomorrow's
Wait,
Sunday
we-
morning. He's going to go in and watch this, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Starge, what do you think was the most concerning thing you saw?
It's a Javier injury, first of all, but second of all, Damian Dunn played 6 minutes. He didn't play in the second half.
Who?
Damian Damian Dunn. I thought that was pretty concerning. 6 minutes, zeros across the board.
So he only shot the ball one time, and
Yeah.
I think it hit not just the front of the rim, but like the bottom front of the rim. It just didn't look right, and he got yanked pretty quick after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Emmanuel Sharp had a very good game. I thought they were trying to create for him early, and it wasn't working for him. Furphy kind of outplayed him when he was in there. And,
Jamal Shed didn't play well.
Jamal Shed did not have a good game. Malik Wilson did not play well. LJ Cryer scores 24, but he had to shoot it 20 times. And, your rebounding numbers. Tugler had 8. This can't be right. Juwan Roberts had 13. Tugler had 8. And the rest of the team had 3. The team had 1. So players had 2. LJ Cryer had 1. And Sharp had 1. Just no way this is right. This is the official box score. You had more offensive rebounds than you had defensive rebounds.
Mhm.
You missed 44 shots.
Yeah.
And rebounded 13 of them. That's pitiful. What can you say?
And there weren't that many defensive rebounds to get because they weren't missing.
No, there was not. You rebounded 11 of their 14 misses.
I mean, if you tell me that Juwan had 7 offensive rebounds and Tugler had 5 offensive rebounds, I say we're in pretty good shape there. But that's not the case today. Whenever you get an offensive rebound like that and you shoot 30% from point blank, then I guess you at least extend the possession. But outside of that, it's just terrible. I mean, there's your turnovers right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've seen a complete dismantling like this, and not just a team beating us, but us also shooting ourselves in the face at the same time.
It broke up when you said that. It sounded like foot and face, and either could work.
No, I said face.
Okay. Yeah. I was concerned about energy and effort. Is there anything different? Yes. I think Javier was really confusing Hunter Dickinson early on. Godfather checks in from the arena in Birmingham.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you know this, Galen, but they reversed it. U of H won. They just reversed everything. What did you think?
I wish. I just felt like we just couldn't. They came out punches in the mouth, very much established whose crib it was. I just thought that whenever Jamal missed that layup and came down and fouled the 3-point shooter, a mental error like that from your leader, I feel like that was early on. I felt like that wasn't good, and I don't think he was able to get in the rhythm. I didn't think he was. I don't think he was aggressive enough. You know, we didn't do a lot of attacking. It was kind of our offense was kind of stagnant, whereas they were. It's like, and they used one thing I thought that Kansas did was they used our defensive principles against us. They know we doubled the post. Hunter Dickinson is 7-1, and usually when we double a post, he's like on or near the block. It was a couple times like Hunter Dickinson was in the corner close to the 3-point line. We went to go trap him, and it's like that's a long way to recover from the opposite corner to the corner he's at to the opposite corner. So I just thought they had a good game plan, and they came out with energy, and they established whose house it was.
Yeah, I don't think there was any doubt.
Yeah, no doubt.
You said on Twitter you wanted to. Oh, y'all are great. Come on. You said you wish you could play in this arena. This was amazing.
Man,
This was
I know
so
it was.
badass.
I know it was. Man.
During timeouts, the guy in front of me just would punch me in the face the whole time, and it really gave me it felt just like a real environment.
Mhm.
Do you think this U of H team was intimidated?
I don't know if intimidated is the word. It was a lot of
Okay.
times where it was a lot of times, like I think, especially in the second half, where we were just a stop away from kind of breaking through and getting over that hump. Breaking the lead, cutting it to single digits, and it was mental error after mental error. I do think the environment and how loud it is played a part in some of our defensive mistakes because it was mistakes that we typically never make. But it was a lot of things that that we usually don't do that they capitalized on. So I don't think it was intimidation. But it's like any other game. You learn from it, you adjust, and you make the changes so when next time we see them, it'll be a different outcome.
Every time you needed just that one stop.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
you were over. Like they
yeah,
made
yeah.
every shot.
And I
when
do
they
think
needed it.
Big J going down. JoJo's playing heavy minutes. Guys kind of looked winded, and when you're tired in an environment like that, you tend to make more mistakes. So I do think our us not having depth dealing with a guy that tall, that big, that dynamic. I do think that definitely hurt us.
This is a game where Terrence Arsenault.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
Oh,
We
right.
could,
Yeah.
man. On
It's
everything
okay.
I love, like we could have definitely used a big wing, a big athletic wing. This guy, we definitely could have used him tonight for sure.
Yeah. Boys,
Yeah.
y'all got anything for Galen? But I don't know how long you have, Galen. Or are you a
About
DNP tonight?
30. Yeah, it's gonna be a DNP night. We got some assignments down, so yeah, I'm cooling, coaching.
Okay. Y'all have a game tomorrow as well during the day.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
goofy. So we were up in a corner. There's no lighting up there. And I was just writing notes in the dark. And my first note is not aggressive, but also shitty. And I
It's a,
think maybe that was.
they go hand in hand. When you're non-aggressive, you're gonna be shitty. They go hand in hand. But whenever like we went on our runs, we weren't thinking, we were just reacting, we were attacking, getting them to collapse and kicking it out to shooters. That's when we're our best. When we're running our offense close to half court, nobody's good at that except bad teams, and they're good at losing.
If you had to guess, why did Damian Dunn not play very much?
I mean, I just think in games like this, you go with who you trust the most.
Okay.
That's just about.
I mean, that's a fair thought.
Yeah.
You certainly couldn't go with the hot guy because that guy didn't exist. And we talked about this right before you came on. U of H only had 24 rebounds in this game. Tugler had 8. Jawan had 13.
Wasn't a lot of opportunities. Shit, it felt like.
Well, there was 44 on the offensive side.
Boy, it was just that we could not get a steady rhythm established the entire night. And, it's just hats off to Kansas for having a good game plan and, exploiting what they thought they could exploit and succeeding at it.
Yeah.
I know preparing for Coach Sampson and how we do things, I know it's not an easy task for an opposing coach. So hats off to those guys for, staying disciplined and sticking to what they thought would help them win.
Did U of H perhaps kind of drop back in fearing transition buckets, like not attack the glass as much, or was that a result of JV Air not being in there? Or did I just completely make that up?
Yeah, I don't know if they have any correlation. I do know that when a team is making shots at that rate in that environment with this big of stakes, it's like it's demoralizing. So it's like it kind of puts you in the mood like, damn, I don't even want to fuck. Let's get back. Sometimes you're Ike, sometimes you're Tina. Facts.
True.
God forgive me.
Yeah. For G, how hard is it to make adjustments at half or in a game environment like this? You certainly were not making them on the fly. They were holding the sign up because you couldn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
And
what you saying,
go
Ryan?
ahead. I don't know.
It's definitely not easy because you I feel like as a coach, you get comfortable doing what you know works. And our system, believe it or not, it does work. I don't know if so it's definitely but I do think the film session that they're gonna have is gonna be one that is gonna be something little that they might have overlooked or didn't think was exploitable that they exploited. I do know that from being in that program, like the monsters that we had on Dickinson, when they were just so far from the basket, going to double them, that they're going to, like, the next time they see Kansas, they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to be very, very small teaching points that lead to big results.
He's probably one of the only guys in the country that can beat that and make the passes to the total opposite corner and things like that. And he's tall enough to do that.
Yeah, tall enough, skilled enough. Yeah, poised enough. He's been there, done that. He's been, like I said, he's been getting doubled his whole career. So, it's nothing new for him.
Kansas is moving the ball faster for sure. They were playing at a different speed. It's like when I'm not going to make comparisons. What else do y'all have?
Galen, what was the reaction after y'all got blown out by Wichita State? I guess they were top 10 team, and they I mean, it looked a lot like this, where just like everything went wrong.
Yeah, and a big reason what helped their team was the environment. That Wichita State crowd, man, that shit was brutal. Like, we had never been in any type of environment like that. It's 10,000 in a black ass gym screaming. It's a cemetery across. It was a cemetery across the street, for crying out loud. I'm like, I know them souls is not resting peacefully. Like, they were loud as can be. But we thought coach was gonna be mad at us, but obviously he was upset. But it was more so like a teaching. It was more so like, guys, how do we miss this? Like, it was a big teaching day after that game. It was a big teaching day, and it was a big film day, because it was little things that it's not that we weren't trying. It's just like they were a step slow. You know what I'm saying? So the next time we played them, we had a better game plan, and I think we beat them convincingly at home. I do remember
73 to 59.
Yeah, it was 11 a.m. game. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think tomorrow's a teaching day?
Yeah.
A film day?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if you don't have JoJo and Javier and Jawan, because Jawan needs to rest, frankly. Because he played so many minutes tonight. You're not going to have, the guys to put a team on the floor.
Yeah, I remember like
38 minutes.
Yeah, that's brutal. But I remember early on, like my freshman, sophomore year, whenever we lose a game, and it probably wouldn't even be this bad, probably lose by like 9 or 10. Like, the practice next day was brutal, just because he was trying to establish the standard and the culture. But I think with this team, you got a team that's accustomed to winning. You have a culture and a foundation that works. So a practice like that probably wouldn't be necessary, especially with key guys. Your two bigs are banged up. JoJo's probably banged up too. So it's probably gonna be another one of those days. It's gonna be a lot of teaching. And I also thought that I'm long-winded as hell, but I thought that us having a week off of games before playing at Fog Allen, I knew that was it seemed like a trap. I don't know if you remember like the last show, but I was like, ooh, when you said a week off, it was like, oh shit, that ain't gonna be pretty.
Too much time to sit and think.
Too much.
Hunter Dickinson joked that he felt bad because he's the only player on his team who missed more than one shot.
True.
Kelvin said on the rebounding, we got murdered. Accurate.
It'll be a lot more people who miss more shots the next time we play him. He won't be the only one.
Yeah. Bill Self said he's out here, by the way, just hanging out and getting his whatever in. Said this was the best crowd Kansas has had this year. It adds to the intensity when everybody knows this could go wrong if we don't play well. I mean, I think he challenged his team, and they 100% responded.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and it's like respectfully, this even if he didn't challenge him, this is an easy game to get up for. It's a top 10 matchup at the crib. I can see if they were playing a team, let's say, let's not even say a name, but a team with a losing record at the crib is like, we're really not excited. We know we're going to beat these guys, but when you got a group of guys coming in there that you've been hearing how good they are and they can beat you, it's going to bring out the best in you.
Mm-hmm.
Starnes, what were you going to say?
They didn't need any motivating today like this. It was already there, and I think just with all the new kids on the block sort of thing, and I see people in the comments, and we talked a little bit about the overrated chant earlier, but I didn't have a problem with it. This is what you're supposed to do. Like,
yeah, overrated.
If the shoe was on the other foot, that's what happens.
Well, but I don't think a top 10 team playing I don't know.
That's not overrated at the crib. And it's so funny how people be like, welcome to the Big 12. Well, look who we lost to in the Big 12, and look at who y'all lost to, some middle of the pack American teams, if we're being frank. So is this a welcoming? I mean, we're at the top of the standings. It's like, relax. We'll get our lick back.
Yeah. And you're going to you play at home Tuesday night, and then you go to Cincinnati this weekend. I am really glad I did not spend the $800 to fly there. I really was thinking about it this week. It was looking like a thing that I wanted to do, and then I took a little breath and was like, okay, maybe not going to do that. Get a weekend at home, be good. I need the time at home. It's been a while. But this was 100% worth doing. Sure, it was uncomfortable as hell, and it's really hot in here. And
all them bodies.
But the people were great.
Hot breaths.
I mean, the students. So here's the thing with the students. They had to come in on Tuesday at 6 a.m. for a lottery for seats. And what they do is they do a lottery for groups of students. So, one person has to go to the lottery. And say you get your number, your 1, 2, then your group has to have someone at the arena from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You had to be here since 6 this morning. And if you're not, they call roll. And if you're not here, you go to the bottom of the list. And so there was some attractive young women in the front row that walked in the first, and they all had their midriffs on that barely covered. And I asked them, like, how did you get this? And she explained to me the situation, and it was like, U of H students have a problem like hitting a button on the internet to get their seats. And these kids put in effort and time, and they have strategy and
invested.
It was awesome. It was such a great environment. I had a lot of fun, and I would absolutely do this again, maybe. Yeah. when people are getting up to play you, speaks volumes about your program. Yeah,
Literally.
but it's been that way for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You've got you've got to respond, and it's whatever. But yeah,
I mean,
Jamie says great atmosphere, crossed off the bucket list. Yeah. What were you going to say, Galen?
oh yeah, about the. I mean, it's still just something to appreciate. Just a school like Kansas, 6 national championships. They've been great shit since the 20s.
Yeah.
In the 19, you know what I'm saying? So them getting up for a game just for little old Houston, man, that is still like something that's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So in the end zone here, they have all the retired numbers, and I think there's 25 of them. 3, 4,
Damn.
6, 7, maybe 30. 35.
30 numbers you can't use.
35. But there's 4 15s. There's like 3 10s. So they're retiring numbers over and over again. And if U of H ever went to that, then maybe we'd retire yours, Galen. But they also have their Final Four banners across here, and there's whatever, 13, 14, 20, 100.
13, 14, 20.
So, like right now, U of H has 5 numbers retired and 6 Final Fours. So I think if you keep those numbers kind of consistent, you make another Final Four, you retire another number. So you've got one spot. They also have all their All-Americans, and they have a tiny little banner for academic All-Americans. And then they have a big banner for Hall of Famers. There's 15 of those, it looks like. So Kansas and Houston are 6 and 3 in the league. Iowa State and Tech are 5 and 2. I mean, you're right there. You're in it.
That is tough. I think it's kind of. I remember my freshman year we went to UConn, and just seeing all those banners. I mean, we walked down the little stairs. It's Rip Hamilton, Rudy Gay, the big posters. Damn. Like you forget how many guys went there, and you go in the arena, it's banners everywhere, and I'm just like, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, half of those are women's banners, because UConn has only been like a national championship program for 25 years.
In that duration, they put out a lot of
Kansas
content.
has been doing it. They've got
but they were doing it
from 1940. Yeah. I mean,
UConn there for a while was the best of the best.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, 100%. And can't disagree with anything about that.
I love Kemba Walker.
Those are the national championship banners and the All-Americans and whatever, but the 5 in the middle, the national title banners. I mean, it's a different world. Everything here is a different world. And, these people are, I mean, this is a fan base and a group of people that this matters. And yeah, it's the middle of nowhere, but to get in this arena, it costs quite a bit of money. Yeah. And so I just think that's pretty good. This is accurate. Kansas has 15 Final Fours. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I only see 13, but it could be hiding. Oh, there's 2 more. You're right. Yeah. You're right, Jack. So yeah, I mean, these guys are really good, and this is, you need to get your ass kicked a few times to know what you are and to see how your team responds. Mm-hmm. And you have a home game coming up, but then you've got to go back on the road. And what's crazy is I think there's 5 weeks left, and you've got only 2 Saturday games at home. I think you've got 3 on the road, 2 at home. And it feels like you've been on the road every weekend.
Man. Damn near.
For forever. But I mean, it's unrelenting, and I don't know what this program needs to be on this level. And maybe they are, and maybe it's just they got the home game first, and U of H gets it later. Maybe
Exactly.
that's all the issue
That's what
is.
it is. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Kansas hit 7 of their last 8 shots. I don't know. Like, if you look at the official stats, it's a whole bunch of check marks or X's. They do not have very many X's. They hit 7 in a row there. They hit 7 in a row there. When you do that 3 times, you hit 6 in a row there and 7 in a row twice. What do you do?
And I think the first 7 in a row they made, like the one that they missed, Hunter Dixon got it back and then just put it
was
back
like
there.
this far.
Yeah.
He.
That might as well just been a make.
Well, their first 8 possessions they scored.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Galen, how concerned would you be that for 3 halves in a row you've given up 60% shooting?
I mean, you're playing good offensive teams with great offensive players, so it's not a shit like that gonna happen. You got a guy that went to Texas. He damn near closing on 3,000 points. It's like these guys know how to score. This team, they got 2 All-Americans. They got probably the point guard who might win the point guard of the year, of Stud and Furphy. Like, that's a good team, man. It's just like every good offense beats good defense every night. It never fails.
Will you explain that to me like I'm dumb? Because
it's like
everybody in this program has said that good defense beats good offense, but I've heard this twice in the last couple of days, and I'm fascinated by it.
It's like every time you play good defense, it's not going to result in a miss. And it's like if there's a guy that's on fire and, he's in the groove, there's not much you can do as a defender to you can do as much as you can, but if he has the ability to take and make tough shots, then just think about the shots that our guys take and make that we think are good shots, and they're probably thinking like, damn, he had no breathing room. Cash. It's like these guys at this level, man, they're skilled. They're super skilled.
Good defense can only guarantee a tough shot.
Exactly.
It can't guarantee a miss. Good offense can guarantee a make.
Starnes having a seance.
Starnes, did you just go in the dark? What is happening?
0 dark 30.
I think it's it's 5. It's 6 o'clock. I need to turn the light on.
It's pretty bright here. All right, Starnes is
We're back.
Yeah. All
I
right.
didn't even realize.
I mean, that was really something. The fact that Townsend and I both noticed, and we're idiots.
Think of it like this: how well they shot the ball today. They had a better shooting percentage from the floor than we do from the free throw line the entire year.
By quite a bit for today, and yeah.
Well, I mean, for the entire year, we're shooting 67% from the free throw line.
Is that good?
That's just standing there by yourself shooting. And these guys hit everything. Wide open looks, hand in your face, off balance, challenged in the paint, free in the paint. I mean, everything they hit. That's what I'm saying. This is one of those games where you just, hey,
tip your hat. Yeah.
What are you going to do, man?
Chalk it up.
What are you going to do?
He did that same taunt that Juwan does after he makes a big bucket. And he did it after he made a bucket over JoJo, not Juwan. So I don't know if you read anything into that, but he's the one that had the game. You get the taunt when you have the game.
I think maybe the lone bright spot was probably JoJo today. Playing 34. I thought he just made some plays. He was out there. I mean, he had to go against Hunter Dickinson for 34 minutes.
That one that was not a goaltend. That was not a goaltend.
I didn't think it was either.
That was.
I mean,
not, they thought they knew it wasn't either. That was not a goaltend.
I was about a mile and a half from that end of the floor, and I knew it wasn't a goaltend. But I mean, it looked like It was not even close, and they went to the monitor and looked and still came back with that. So who knows?
Since I've brought it up in the past, I gotta give JoJo credit. 34 minutes, only 3 fouls. How good is that?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was not playing aggressive.
Yeah,
he was
going
hard.
He was everywhere. He was everywhere.
But that's telling me the game is slowing down for him. He's starting to get it, and you're seeing it with his play. But the fact that he's not getting the overzealous fouls, to reach in, running into people, going too fast, too crazy. You're a couple of games from this guy just blowing up. Because once he realizes how good he is, look out, it's over.
I thought they were going to have to trot out Said Lot for a little bit there. I thought they were going to end up having to do that.
I did too. I was like, shit, we need body on body.
But I'd have just brought him in there to put somebody in the floor.
Yeah. You might have seen the first ever 5-foul possession in college basketball history. They would have just gone right at him, and he would have just nonstop.
Hey, I'm a fan of violence. Let it go. Let it rip.
Yeah. JoJo was amazing. Uh-oh. Gwen, that was hard to watch.
Oh, Gwen.
Yep, I agree with that. So this place was crazy loud, and their band never really played a part. You know, at Fertitta Center, the band kind of directs the noise, the violence off the court. The band here did not. They played more NBA styles, just pump up the speakers, but it worked. Like in a lot of arenas, it just doesn't. But here, it really worked. And I think they've got a deal where students, for some sort of project, or I don't know, they have students cleaning the arena.
At a lot of schools, kids will go to school because the school has a really good football team. Kids go to school at Kansas because they have a great basketball team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they do. I mean, basketball is what they do. And it's happened for generation on top of generation. It never changes.
The record they have at home under Bill Self for 20-something years now is, I mean, it's ridiculous.
I couldn't believe that it was 3-17-25 or something like that. And he's at 95% since Kelvin was hired. And I mean, that's just hard. I talked with Kellen pregame on the floor about Jacob McFarland, and they were really happy with how he's coming along. He's making JoJo better, but he's also getting better having to go up against Javier and JoJo. And he's gaining weight. He's good in the weight room, and they love his attitude.
Yeah.
A lot of good talk pregame. I talked to Karen Sampson for a long while. I talked with Lauren Sampson and Kelvin. Kelvin did not give me the time of day, but he wasn't out here. But
did you at least ask?
No. Well, I mean, I wasn't on the floor at the same time he was. Bill Self will retire. Here's why that doesn't happen. Bill Self makes $13 million a year. I ain't leaving no job when you're paying me over $1 million a month. And I mean, the cost of living, it costs $8 to live here. So why would you give up $13 million a year?
Come on, they got a Sbarro at a gas station. It's got to be great.
Gotta be great.
That stuffed pizza, delicious.
When was the last time you were in a mall? Because I bet it hasn't been 15 years you've been in the mall.
Oh, God.
See? Monso wins again.
I think I was in a mall in Atlanta one time, and that was in
one time. You haven't been into Atlanta. Yeah. Okay. That's 20. Okay. The World Trade Center blew up since then.
That is
so
true.
That's how long it's been.
True.
JoJo's the Tasmanian Devil. That is a really good way to put it. His length was causing problems early on. Javier's length was causing problems early on. If Javier doesn't exit this game, I don't know that the result changes. But Hunter Dickinson has a lot more difficult time in this game than he had. Because, I mean, he did not face a lot of adversity. It helps when you knock the shit out of somebody and no cow.
Yeah,
So
get away with
my-
murder.
My record this year on stories is pretty bad. I had the Terrence Arsenal story. He tears his Achilles. And then the day after my Javier Francis story comes out, hurts his hip. I don't know what to
Just
do.
write stories on the
don't-
opponent
don't-
from now on.
Yeah, don't write about Jamal. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't write about Jamal, please.
you should do opponent stories,
Yeah,
especially in road games.
yeah.
Because Terrence happened away from home. The JVR thing happened away. So, yeah. Need to forget about this one and focus on OSU. I think they need to take the day off and go have a good time. Yeah,
They got a nice get right game. Real nice get right game.
you say that, and then you can't overlook it. I mean, you cannot lose a game at home. You just cannot.
No.
And I mean, I think that's going to be the difference this year. Is whoever wins it is going to have lost one less home game. And
Well, I don't feel like Kansas is a good road team, so I feel like they might drop a.
they've
drop a
had some
couple
issues,
more.
right?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
drop a
they
couple
lost
more.
to UCF and West Virginia.
They
have
are one
played,
and
have they played BYU yet?
I don't think so. They're 1-3
be a tough one to
away
win.
from home
That's
in the
gonna be a tough
conference.
one.
1-3. U of H is 2-3. Yeah, they have. They played BYU at home though, so they won't go to
Of course, they won't.
BYU.
And they go to Kansas State, to Texas Tech, to OU.
Baylor.
I mean,
And
they've
then
got some
to
issues, and then Houston to end it on the 9th.
Yeah. And then they come get that whooping down here.
I don't know.
You get that
I
third
mean, that's
ward
going to
beat.
be a war.
Fuck you
You know-
talking about, Ryan? You don't know.
I don't know. That game, that day is. That's my 45th birthday, right? The day Kansas is at U of H.
Yeah, hell of a good.
45, which I thought I was going to die at like 20. So, you know, we're living on free time here.
Hey, it's house
Welcome
money
to the
now.
club.
Yeah, house money. Yeah. How you're like, you haven't been to a mall in 23 years. That's
I
weird.
think everybody should be jealous of that.
But it's weird.
He
Mr.
said
I love
that's weird.
Sparrow, but then hadn't been to a damn mall.
I
Yeah.
have fond memories of it when I was slimmer.
Yeah. Has any team that shoots as bad at free throws at the line won a ship? I don't know.
I mean, I understand the thought of winning a national championship, but I mean, we need to recalibrate where we're. I mean, if our happiness is tied to whether or not we win a championship, then get a dog from the SPCA.
You've
and start
never
kicking
been
it.
happy in any sport except golf, if that's the standard. And you haven't won a golf national title in 40 years. So
I think
I just don't see how you can make that your standard.
Well, I think these days, especially going forward, with the way that the amount of players move with NIL and free transfer, you're going to see some weird shit happen in March, even more
And guys
weird
are
than in the
guys
past.
are
I mean,
good, man.
but last year you had
Guys are
Miami
good.
and San Diego State in the Final Four. Get used to seeing somebody like that, because all it takes is get hot.
And
Take
FAU.
a good team,
FAU.
let them get hot.
It's all matchups, man. It's all matchups.
You have a thing now that you've never had in college basketball, where you could go into the tournament and certain guys have no interest because they've got their transfer, they're set, they've got their NIL set, they're ready to go, they're ready to get out of this situation. And I mean, you've never dealt with that. You know, in football bowl games, you deal with that, but not at that you can win a national title level. In this, you have teams that could win a national title, and they could a guy could be completely out of it and cost him everything. And it's just,
I'm just
it's
talking
a
about
different situation.
I'm just talking about it spreads out the talent so much that
Well, that too.
one team can get a guy that just comes out of nowhere that might have been a smaller school superstar. And I mean, just like we saw, I mean, Kyler Edwards was at Texas Tech and he was good, but he was great here. Tajay Moore was good, really good where he was, but he was unbelievable here.
Yeah.
I mean, Dejan Giroux was a transfer that was turned into be a superstar. I mean, that was we got to the Final Four on his back and his broken hip.
Yeah. Facts.
He's a savage, man.
Yeah.
So we need more savage.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
I mean, you need to win 6 straight games against increasingly good teams to win a national title. And
guys, I'm about to have to log off. We're about to have like our pregame team meeting. So catch y'all boys next time.
Will you leave the video on? Let's watch.
It's not anything you want to see, brother.
Probably not.
Yeah.
All right, Galen Robinson, Godfather. Thank you.
See you, Galen.
But as I was saying, 6 games against increasingly better teams, and they all have to be the right matchup. And it doesn't. If you stumble one game, if you have a bad shooting game once, another team has a great shooting game once, you lose. Like it. You don't. This isn't. This isn't football. This isn't. Professional teams where this team is the best or one of the best all year, and you're going to be proven right in the playoffs. It just takes one bad game and you're done, and that can happen at any point.
And
over 6 games.
Not even bad game. I mean, somebody could shoot 69% against you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I mean, look, think of it this way. In the 80s, U of H and Phi Slamma Jamma had one of the greatest collection of talent to ever play on a single team, and they couldn't win it.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
And last year you ran into the one team that played the way that you couldn't defend.
Yeah.
And you had your best player who was dealing with a groin injury. Mm-hmm. That's just, you got to get lucky. You got to be really good. You got to be great to win it. Don't get me wrong. But you got to get breaks. You got to make breaks. It's a roll of the dice, no matter what seed you are. I mean, hell, ask Purdue, ask Gonzaga. Those guys lived in the top 10, in the top 5. Yeah. What do they got? I mean, Purdue's been bounced first week in the last 2 out of 3 years. Gonzaga, you never know where they're going to be, usually deep in the tournament, but they haven't won anything, although they've been phenomenal for 20 years under Mark Few. I mean, I just, for everybody's sanity, I would caution you to think less of a national title, and I think the focus needs to be on, let's get the best spot we can get in the Big 12. Hopefully we can win a title in the Big 12, because you have more control over that. That's a long grind that you just got to beat people.
Maybe I'm just way off, but damn, just enjoy the journey. This is something completely different. Just have fun. Like, this was fucking amazing. You got your ass blown out. There's just no other way to say it. But this was phenomenal. Iowa State was phenomenal. Even TCU was a great environment. UT, not really.
Expensive environment.
And you'll go to Baylor, and fantastic. You'll go to OU, fantastic. Cincinnati, going to be fantastic. UCF, apparently, fantastic.
Yes, it's a hard place to win this year. Who knew?
I just enjoy it. If you're so focused on a national title, you're going to be disappointed. This team blew you out, and if their fans are just focused on a national title, they're going to be disappointed. Everybody is. It doesn't make sense. And, God, just
I
enjoy the games and have fun.
I understand.
I do this every day of my life. And, my financial well-being is based on how well these teams do. So I promise you, I really want it. I'm spending a lot of money to go to these things. There's no company paying for it. It's me. But I'm doing it because the journey is fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm not going to, in 20 years, tell the people that are listening to my story over and over and over again that, I had all these great expectations. No, I'm going to tell them I went to Kansas and sweated my ass off and had a blast and saw my team get their asses whooped. Cool.
Mhm.
Enjoy it. Have fun. I would rather lose a few of these than beat East Carolina and Tulsa every night by 30. Exactly. Yes, there's fun in that, but there's way more fun in this. And you pick some of these off. It's obviously a different kind of story, but the elation people had beating Texas, that's awesome. People even had, we saw it in our views and everything else. The elation people had beating BYU on the road. It was a big deal. Go have fun. Go enjoy the ride. The ride is awesome, going to continue to be awesome. The hunter has become the hunted. Imagine saying that 5 years ago. Yeah. And, you're going to lose Jamal Shed. 99%. You're going to lose him. Guess what? You're going to take a step back. You go get a transfer, but Jamal has been in this program for 4 years. They've been recruiting him for 8. Things are going to get choppy. Enjoy
It
what
ain't
you
always
have.
going to be like this,
No.
is what you're saying.
You go to the
And
CUSA title game in 2011 in football, and then you hired Tony Levine. And then you hired a guy who got you pretty much to the mountaintop, and then he's gone, and you hired Baker Applewhite. What are you doing? You're only just a guy saying no to getting the wrong guy. James Dickey is a perfect example. You had a guy say no. And then James Dickey comes along. I don't know. Not me. I had intended to ask Kellen that exact question today, but apparently they pay him to coach, and there were guys on the floor, and so he went and did that. I'm going to tell you about Cordell Jefferson. I think this kid is going to be something. He has bulked up quite a bit. He looks like a man now. Like when I met him at SMU, so it was the middle of February last year, and he looked like a little boy. He looked like a high school kid. That dude is a man now.
He's got big shoulders.
a different kind
Big.
of freshman 15.
Oof. And and his release is so quick. And I've seen him in scrimmage and other things. And I'm going to tell you, that kid, you never know how someone's going to work out when the lights come on and it's other Big 12 guys. But, he looks the part. And everybody's going to, I don't know. But he looks really good.
But even when he plays next year, he's not going to be that good.
No, he's not. He's going to be a freshman still. And that's okay. Starnes, do you have any shout outs? Shout out Galen, who is a coach today, meaning he's not going to play.
Shout out my roommate who popped in for a second, not knowing I was doing this.
Didn't hear him.
Well, I muted my mic, so we're good.
There you go. Shout out to Sbarro in 2001.
Yeah, baby.
Moron.
Somewhere off of a peach tree in Atlanta. One of the 5,000 peach trees.
Yeah, that did not narrow it down at all. Shout out this place. This was amazing. Very few things in life live up to the hype, and this did. It was the loudest I've ever experienced, and it probably got that way about 3 different times. In that first half, when they went on those 7 out of 8 or whatever it was, man, it was nuts and just badass. And it took a lot of traveling, a flight, and then, I had to make a U-turn at a casino over there, and then come over here, and it was a lot, but it was worth it. It was 100% worth it, and hopefully all the U of H people, and there were a lot here. You didn't hear them probably on TV because what do you cheer for? Shout out to Kelvin Sampson for using like 30 timeouts in the first half. I don't know where he got all those, but good for him. Yeah. So let's do final thoughts and then get this over with. Brad, go ahead.
Put this behind us. It's over, and there ain't nothing you can do. I mean, there was nothing we could do tonight, and I don't think anybody's going to shoot 69% again. Nice. So just you got Oklahoma State coming up. You can't let one loss turn into two.
Nope.
This isn't a big deal to me.
Yeah.
So moving on, moving forward.
The teams that finish third, fourth, fifth, sixth in this league are the ones that let one loss turn into three. And you see it. And I mean, a lot of teams lose 3 or 4 in a row in this conference. Good teams. Yep. BYU's been doing it. Kansas State's been doing it. I mean, like, what's happening? OU has kind of been here and there. Texas lost games. They came back today. But, I mean, it's possible. And so you've got to get your head right and throttle. You honest to God, you need a game where Jawan Roberts can come out of the game early. Well, that kid has played so much these 2 games this week.
Just an example.
That can't be happening.
Look at Texas Tech. Texas Tech is still at the top of the conference, and we beat the brakes off them here. Worse than what happened in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we walked out. We were disappointed we didn't hold on to a 30-point lead.
And UCF made 7 shots at Fertitta. 7. They beat this team.
Yep.
Make it make sense. Starnes.
You lost in a place where everybody loses.
Okay, Starnes. Got it.
That's okay. I mean, it's okay. You wish you would have made it a game, but you've taken care of business halfway through Big 12 play. You've done all that anybody can ask, going 6-3, 2-3 on the road. You can't be too upset about this one. You didn't play well, and then the other team played amazing. You just gotta watch the tape and then bury it, and then you gotta regroup and get things right in Oklahoma State before you go back to Cincinnati. So this next week is one where you just hopefully you can rest some starters a little bit in Oklahoma State, spend some more time resting until you go to Cincinnati.
I don't know what to say about this comment. Well-spoken Towns. Certainly no one has said that since Towns was at Sparrow in 2001. And UCF beat OU today. Oak State beat Kansas State. It's amazing when you're so dialed into one game, you don't really look at other scores, other games. I mean, I've been here since 10:30 this morning. So, it's been all day. I'm going to tell you something. In the media room,
Tech is losing to Cincinnati right now.
There you go. You remember at Kansas State, they had that big ice cream thing in the media room? And they said, just go have all the ice cream you wanted?
Yeah.
They had one just like that here with a big Dairy Queen logo on it. But it was locked. And you couldn't see in it. And so it's just this big freezer with big Dairy Queen logo. And I was like, come on. So I'm going to go back there after we finish this and see if I can maybe
get a giant tub of cookies and cream, pralines and cream.
Well, from like a dilly bar from Dairy Queen, I imagine that's what they're going to have. I don't know. My final thoughts are: this was an awesome environment, and you got your ass kicked, and it was never near as close as that score made it look. You had 24, I think 24 more shots, and that's why it looked close, because you just had so many more opportunities. Because Kansas turned the ball over in some goofy ways. They threw the ball 3 rows high on the sidelines 8, 9 times. You're just not going to see that. They shot it 45 times. U of H shot it 69 times. I really hate that. U of H's biggest lead was 2-0. And it really, I mean, it is what it is. You got your ass beat. Turn it over and go to something else. And, I think you're getting into a part of the schedule where there's not a lot of practice. It's just prep time. And
Right.
like this week, from what I understand, U of H did not practice on Tuesday. They did not practice on Wednesday. They got back to it on Thursday. And then they flew out Friday. They came here and had a practice of some sort last night. They had shoot around this morning, and then you played this afternoon. You fly back, you do film tomorrow, you practice Monday or prep Monday, and then you play Tuesday. It's just a different world. And, can they adjust to it? You got the win in Austin on short rest. You got a few days off. You didn't get it done on the road. You have to win at home. You have to. And you need a chance to get a couple guys you need to get a couple guys some rest. Yeah. Sorry, getting some weird comments. Yeah. Since he's up 5 with 9.5. See you guys Tuesday. Need an alternative when ISO isn't working on offense. Boy, you need shots to go in. When shots go in, all that works out. I don't know. They don't track air balls, but you had a couple close in that did not hit the rim, did not hit the backboard. And, from one side of the basket to the other, I don't know. It just did not look great at all. Make sure you help out the folks behind you. They're working their asses off. It's a big arena, and it's 30 kids, 40 kids. And it's just,
Probably get all that
Yeah.
ice cream afterwards.
not if I have anything to do with it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. That's it for us. Thank y'all so much. GoCougs.com. Look at the YouTube or the whatever and subscribe. Why not? What's it going to cost you?
Hit the bell, get a notification every time we go live, every time we put a video up.
If y'all want to do that, that's fine. But just subscribe. It'd be fun. Lots of content coming up. We're all doing a co-piece. Brad, we're doing this for Monday, I think, and talk about the first half of the Big 12 season. You're going to preview Oak State. You're going to have more podcasts. A lot of stuff. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Have a nice day.